Okay, well, I'm a witness here. What I seen was a horrible, tragic situation. The guy was coming down, and I guess the police was trying to do a stop point. The man said, no, not today, and they began to race behind each other like cats and dogs. The police officer got behind the man and started going so fast, his car spit out of control. Girl, he hit the pole. His head went to one side, and his body went to the other side, and this is the result. Lord be with this young man. He need a blessing.
So where were you when this happened?
Well, ma'am, I was actually going to buy me a piece of burger from Burger King.
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
Like night time, or are they putting me out like we're going to put a breathing apparatus on?
Twilight kind of stuff.
It's like propofol. It's like the Michael Jackson sleep time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
the milky light
but
white
then you
liquid.
don't feel it. You don't.
Can I or can I not take some gummy bears before I go?
I don't know.
So, let's fast forward to a week later or whatever it was.
He called.
And Krissy and I are sitting in her apartment and doing our normal, let's drink 12 Bud Lights in an hour and order a pizza. Right. And then we'll just walk outside and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
Exactly.
Usually led to a bar and some kind of mischief.
Yeah.
She was a year older than I was. She was absolutely, in my opinion, stunningly beautiful. And she would give me the time of day like you would pet a puppy dog, right? Yeah. Like, oh, Bryan, that's really...
Oh, Bryan,
and I'd be like, Miles Davis is great. Have you ever heard of Dave Matthews Bane?
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Oh, yeah, cats and kittens, welcome back to The Commercial Break. I am Bryan Green. This is my dear friend, Kristen Joy Hoadley. Best to you, Krissy.
And best to you, Bryan.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. How the hell are you? Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of this, The Commercial Break. Hey, it's not for everyone, but fact, news, or fiction is guaranteed in 30 seconds or less. Go to the very old tcbpodcast.com to collect your earnings.
Very old.
Well, we had to do the old switcheroo on the website while we're getting a new website from our new website that was replacing the old website.
The OG website.
The OG website. We went back to the original version.
Yeah.
I have very important podcasting news for you. Breaking podcast news.
Ding, 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 ding.
So, I have a day job because God knows this podcast ain't paying the bills.
Yes.
I have a day job. And somebody in the company, a podcast industry executive, texted me this morning and he said, holy shit, look at this. And he sends me a screenshot and he's Googling comedy podcasts, right? That's what he's Googling. And up in Google comes up the pictures of our podcast covers, right?
Okay.
Like a list of podcast covers.
Right.
So there's 1 and 2, which I think 1 is Conan O'Brien and 2 is Smartless. Number 3 is The Commercial Break.
Way.
And then Charlamange The God is behind it.
No way.
So this guy was like, look at you, dude.
Wow.
The Commercial Break The God. And I was like, wow.
Google.
Clearly a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. What's Google doing?
Well, we know from our Google days that actually Google sometimes tailors the results based on your own browsing history.
That's true.
Yeah, so this guy's probably stalking us. He wants to, looking for a way to fire me. And I'm giving him 10 different reasons every single episode. So there you go. I'm officially old. And I'll tell you what, besides my increasing belly, my shrinking penis, and my elongated balls, and the hairline going, do you know what I had to do today that really is to me is one of those things that indicates that I'm a really fucking old man?
What is that?
I had to schedule a Roto-Rooter.
A Roto-Rooter.
Like my own colonoscopy.
Yes.
In and out.
You got to do it.
A good flushing.
You got to
do it. A
do
good
it.
cleaning. I got to do it.
Well, you will do the cleaning with all the stuff they make you take.
So tell me, what's this all about? Because I know Jeff's been through a few of these.
Yeah, and it's very important. Very important.
I agree with you. Listen,
Yes.
I'm all about checking my asshole.
Yep.
I check my asshole frequently.
Yeah,
I ask Astrid to do it, but there's only so far that a marriage will go. There's only so much a marriage will take.
Yeah.
We check each other for skin tags and moles and stuff like that. It's very important, right?
It is very important.
And every once in a while, I won't get into all the details, but I'll say, hey, honey, it's time for a cancer check.
Yeah. Jeff goes once a year for one to the dermatologist.
No, I mean, I check her.
Do the whole body.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
I just went to the dermatologist and he looked me over.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're one ugly son of a bitch, but I don't think you're dying. He said,
good.
stop going to it's as if him and Astrid got together beforehand.
The tanning.
Yeah, to talk to me about the tanning because he just gave me, he basically said the exact same thing my wife says every single time that I go to the tanning bed. And so I'm sure I know it because she went a week before I did.
Oh, yeah.
I know they colluded.
They're in cahoots.
Of course they fucking are, and I don't like that. But I can appreciate where they're coming from. At least Astrid cares about my health and well-being.
Yes.
And the guy's only going to make the most amount of money if I stick with him for a long time.
Right.
So if I'm going to die of skin cancer next week, he's not going to get the extra, whatever it is, $30 my insurance pays for that.
Yeah.
But I had to schedule the colonoscopy, and now, so what happens? What am I in for? What am I looking at? Because I really don't know.
Yeah, you said they'll give you a list of stuff that you'll take the
do
day
you mean?
before. You can't eat after a certain period the day before, too,
Ooh.
and you can only do like clear liquids.
Can I do water?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can do.
I can deal with
You can
that.
do water.
That's my normal
but
diet.
yeah,
Water until
Right.
cereal and milk.
exactly.
It's like water, cereal, and cream. That's right. So they give you these liquids that flush you out.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like laxative stuff.
It's
basically.
like 12 X-Lax,
Yeah,
and then take
it's
this
a ton of
Gatorade.
that. A
Oh
ton
my
of that.
God, really?
So really, it's kind of the day before that's the worst part.
You just sit in the bathroom.
yeah, be near the bathroom that evening.
When are they putting me out for like night time, or are they putting me out like we're going to put a
I think it's
breathing
like
apparatus on you?
Twilight,
It's Twilight
kind of stuff.
It's like
Yeah.
propofol. It's like the Michael Jackson sleep time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So
The milky
but,
light
but
white
then you
liquid.
don't feel it. You don't.
Can I or can I not take some gummy bears before I go?
I don't know.
Because I'm feeling like that make it a lot more fun.
Maybe. Well, they have like liquid THC now. So
Yeah, so
you
maybe
could
I
do
just
that.
drink that
Yeah,
before
clear
I go.
liquid.
Just take like seven spoonfuls of
Yeah.
clear THC.
Sure.
The sticky icky man, the gooey ooey. I'm gonna do some dabs before I go.
Yeah.
Because smoke is not considered like it's not going into my belly.
Yeah.
so I'll just dab
You're
it up
good.
before I go.
Dab it
Dibbity
up.
dab, a couple finger
Dab it,
dips,
dab it.
couple finger dips, and a double dab, and I'll be dreaming of
All kinds of things.
hot ass sex all the whole time. Hot ass sex.
Yeah. So then you wake up, it's fine. You're groggy. Astrid will be the one to take you home. You have to have somebody there.
Yeah.
And you're fine. You wake up and you say a couple crazy things when you first wake up. And then you're done and you're hungry. You want to eat after that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to, I'm going to munch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I want Astrid picking me up after that. Because you never know what's going to come out of your mouth when you're in one of those situations.
It's not that bad.
I don't know. I'm going to take an Uber.
No, you can't. They won't let you do it.
They won't let you take an Uber?
No, you have to have someone there.
Have someone in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay the Uber guy a couple extra bucks to show up.
Okay.
I'll tell Carl to come pick me up.
Yeah. They're going to have to stay there in the waiting room.
Hey. Hey, girl, I'm here to pick up Bryan. Wow, have you ever talked to the Lord? Have you ever heard about Jesus Christ our Savior? Here, let me give me your phone number. Let me send you a few pictures. Look at that. That's a victory. We call that a victory V.
Oh, the victory V.
Oh, the victory V, girl. I know you got a victory V. Oh, is Bryan's awake? Okay. Just tell him to hang on a few minutes. I got some pressing business up here at the front desk.
At the nurse's station?
At the nurse's station. Nurses' stations are just like stepping stones to heaven, if you know that, Krissy, because nurses are one with the Lord. And I do some personal preaching at my house, if you know what I mean, girl.
Oh, yeah.
So if you give me your Skype, then and we like to do it in the nude because that's how we were born.
Well, that's, yeah.
From ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Lick on my balls, you must. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
girl.
it makes perfect sense.
Hey, listen, what are you doing later, girl?
Girl.
You, Krissy.
Oh, me.
This whole time I've been talking to everybody else, and you're right across the table from me. You're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
That's right. I'm free. I'm free, Carl.
I'm thinking we go through the Bible together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can
Page
show me some
64,
special passages.
Leviticus, Pornhub-Leviticus.com. Okay, girl, I gotta go. Well, I'm old, so I guess that's the way it is, and now I got to go get one of those colon. But my grandfather did have colon cancer multiple times.
Oh, wow.
Multiple
so
times.
you definitely need to be getting checked.
Yeah, that's kind of. But he was so old that after a while they were just like, oh, whatever. I mean, that's what happens, after you get so old. They're like, what are we going to do? We're going to put you down. We're going to cut out half your colon, and then you're not going to survive the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So something's going to get you.
Yeah.
Let's just leave you alone. Why
Yes.
bother you with all that crap?
Yeah.
I just don't like the thought of a whole day not eating and shitting all day. But I do know that it's important, so I will go get it done.
Yes, thank you.
Sometime in the next 5 years.
Okay, sounds good.
This question I knew was going to come up.
What?
I knew it was going to come up. I knew we were going to get
What
this question at
question?
some point. We got an Ask TCB. Somebody's asking us for our advice. But I think this question is really directed at you and I.
Okay.
Okay? So, So I'm just going to say right now, if you have children, small children in the car, you should turn this off. If your name is Astrid or Jeff, you should probably turn this off. Okay, you ready? Here it comes. I'm just going to get into it and we can go from there. Okay. Okay, TCB, here's my question. Need your advice.
Okay.
Can a man and a woman just be friends? My name is Callie, and I live in Cali. For almost 12 years, I've been friends with Danny. Danny and I met when he was dating my friend. It didn't last long, maybe a month, but we all went out a few times, and we became Facebook friends. After they stopped dating, Danny and I would frequent the same bars and clubs, so we became
running into each other.
Yeah, so it made sense that we became friendly. It's like we were an old married couple from day one. We love the same foods, but argue over where to go to eat. We know each other's coffee orders. We fart in front of each other. We go shopping for clothes together. We fuss at each other over stupid shit, but we always laugh together, and we always do things together. We almost never fight for real. Everyone thinks of us as a team. All of our friends, our family members know that if one is coming, it's likely the other one is coming also.
Okay.
We have both had boyfriends and girlfriends over these years. Some I liked, some I hated, but we always ended up being single, and now we just laugh at the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever have we made out. Not once. We sleep over at each other's homes, and we sleep in the same bed. Sometimes I even sleep topless, but nothing. Not even a game of tag and tickle, as Bryan would say.
Tag and tickle.
We have this invisible line between us. I used to build pillow walls with some people. We have this invisible line between us that we don't cross physically, but we are definitely married otherwise. We've never spoken about getting together more than friends until recently. Listen, I love Danny. I have since the beginning, but I cannot see us being together. I thought he felt the same, but the other day he brought it up. He asked if we should give it a try. He said that after all of these years, if we can stand each other this long, we could be good together. While I initially thought, hell the fuck no, I do not want to ruin this amazing friendship. I have to admit, I think sometimes I don't give myself to other relationships because of Danny.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to lose him, so I don't give the attention I should give to the boyfriend at the time. I know this is a problem because boyfriends have told me so. Actually, all of them have told me so. Well, at least they're being honest. So it's got me asking, can we just be friends? I figure you two might know the best. Have you two ever dated? Best to you. Love you much. Callie.
Best to you, Callie.
Best to you, Callie. This is a loaded question, I think. But the answer to, not about Krissy and I, but I think just in general, the question is loaded.
Yeah.
But Krissy and I have never dated.
Yes, no.
Never, not once. But we have a very similar friendship when we were not
when
married
we were
to
both
other
single,
people.
we would sleep in the same bed.
Sure.
You would come to family functions. You came out and stayed at my grandfather's house that night.
Yep.
And I mean, we were together. We were the Bobbsey twins.
We were the Bobbsey twins, and that led to a lot of speculation about whether or not we were together.
Because we also worked together.
We worked together, and the truth was the truth, which was nothing was going on, but everybody thought so. So after a while, you just stop answering the question because it doesn't fucking matter what you say. People are going to think you're together. So whatever, doesn't matter. But I do think this is a loaded question as far as relationships are concerned.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the fact that they've dated other people and then now they're back both single again and they're maybe tossing around the idea. Let me just say this. What if the sex isn't good? What if they hook up but sex is not good? Then things are weird.
I can think of a friendship,
and then you ruin the friendship. Yeah,
I can think of a friendship that we had where, and I mean she was in our friend group.
Our group.
And we ended up becoming buddy after we first met, and that friendship was kind of fast and hard. We were like, oh, okay, cool. We like hanging out with each other. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And we would go to events together. Nothing like Krissy and I's friendship, but to some degree, a little bit like Krissy and I's friendship.
Yeah.
And we like to laugh together, and we had a lot of fun. And she was a great friend to me, and I think for a period of time I was a good friend to her. And then one night, she started sex messaging me, and I think it just got a little saucy a little quick. There was a lot of drinking going on at that time.
Yeah, there was a lot
of drinking going on at that time. And so there was ample opportunity to wet your whistle, so to speak. I had sex with more of our friends than I care to admit, and almost every time it didn't work out.
No,
the reason why
changes
it just changes things.
It does.
You cannot look at a person the same way after you have sex with them.
It's so true. And then jealousy creeps in. Maybe one person doesn't want to be then together anymore.
Yeah.
The other person does, and now you've had sex. And it's tricky.
I feel like you should be with your best friend, but I don't, and what I mean by that is I think you should be together with your best friend. Like you two should think of each other as best friends. But I think if you start off as friends and you let that run too long, like if you let that run more than a year and then you try and hook up, in my experience, and I know there's plenty of people out there who are going to tell me differently, but in my experience, it has almost never worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're married to Astrid, so
Well,
that didn't work out.
I'm still trying to have sex with all her friends, but hey, listen, that's just my own personal picadillos here. We're in a open relationship, and by open I mean she's going to divorce me if I do anything with any of her
Right.
friends. The door will be open. I will be able to
Yes,
walk
the
out of
door
it. She
will
will
be
close
open.
it behind me and then take the house. The truth is, though, you say something that has, I think, a little twist of honesty, it hits me in the tickle pickle. When you say that you are giving more of yourself to the
Yeah.
friendship than you are to the relationship, that means two things. Number one, you should really be careful about your friendship with Danny moving forward when you get into a relationship with someone you actually give a shit about.
That's right.
But you're also dating the wrong people, because when the time comes and the right person shows up, Danny will take a back seat. That's just going to
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself in a situation where you're not going to, he's just going to have to naturally kind of fade into the background for a hot minute.
Yeah.
I have a friend who checked out altogether, and I never heard from her again.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not going to say her name out loud,
Okay.
but you know who I'm talking about. She was like when Astrid and I, every time that I got a girlfriend, all of a sudden she checked out into the background.
yeah.
Right. And one day she said, I think I like you more than you like me.
Yeah.
I feel
She wanted more.
She did. She's like, I'm hanging on for that happy ending, but I'm not sure it's ever going to come because I don't think you feel that way. Right. And I told her, I don't think I do either.
Right.
And then we were friends for many more years. And then when Astrid showed up, she was like,
She was out of there.
that last text message was almost cryptic.
Yeah.
It was like, I really wish you and Astrid the best. This is like months before our wedding. She was like, I really wish you and Astrid the best. I'll always love you. And then I never heard from her again. Never heard from her
That's
again.
crazy. That's wild. Because I know, just thinking back on our friendship when
Yeah.
you met Astrid and I met Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, I kicked you out the night that Jeff and I met.
Krissy Hildy is living in an apartment building, and there are two doors right next to it. It's this big, huge apartment complex, and there's on one side of the hallway there's a door, and on the other side of the hallway there's a door. Mm-hmm. She meets Jeff while she's helping him with his groceries in the house. Isn't that true?
Yes, it is. It is. I'd been out having some margaritas with my roommate, my girlfriend, and so we saw him, and I get quite friendly when I'm a little tipsy. I talk to everybody. So I saw him. He had a huge trunk full of groceries, and I said, "Hey, hey,
I got some sticky icky up in the apartment."
How about I help you?" And he said, "Okay, that'd be great. Thank you so much," and invited me in for a glass of wine.
He invited her in for a glass of wine, and then let's fast forward to a week later or whatever it was.
He called.
And Krissy and I are sitting in her apartment and doing our normal. Let's drink 12 Bud Lights in an hour and order a pizza, and then we'll just walk outside and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
Exactly.
Usually led to a bar and some kind of mischief.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of those 12 Bud Lights, and Krissy says, "Oh, my neighbor just texted me. You want to go over there?" And I'm like, "Sure." And she's like, "I kind of think he's cute. I met him the other day." And I was like, "Oh, whatever. You're going to love him. He likes music and all this other stuff."
Mm-hmm.
So we go over there. I love Jeff. Jeff's great. We talk about music for 2 hours. And then I think I'm just kind of stepping on Krissy's dick a little bit. So Krissy is for
I was
2 hours.
You gotta go.
Yeah, Krissy is like, "Don't you have somewhere to be?" I had really kind of planned to spend the night at Krissy's house, but I was like, yeah, I guess I should be going now. And Krissy's like, you can go into my apartment if you want to.
You can hang out there.
Yeah, go. Wait, you mean we were hanging out? Now you bring me over to some guy at that time, some douche's house, and then you want me to go and spend the night at your house by myself?
Yeah,
What?
that's what I was saying.
But a good wingman always knows when it's time to exit. And
It's true.
I think this is one of the few times when I may not have taken the first cue. I had to wait till the fifth. But at that point, we're fucking hammered. So I was like, whatever. But I left like a good boy. I left. I think I took an
Yeah.
Uber home. But But that was it.
And the rest is history. But we continued to still be,
of course,
extremely close, and we have continued that
yes.
throughout even your move to Roswell.
And that's why it's so sad that this is Krissy Hoadley's last episode of the commercial. Because Jeff's going to tell her no more. He's going to say, remember when Bryan took Bryan a couple of extra minutes to find those cues? It's still taking him a couple extra minutes to find those cues. We ended up being friends through this entire thing.
Absolutely.
And the friendship ebbs and
all
flows.
your girlfriends too.
Yeah.
You know,
oh God, you hated
of...
some of my girlfriends.
Yeah, but
I hated some of my girlfriends, to be fair.
You were dating the wrong girls. And
Well,
when you met Astrid,
true.
I loved her
Yeah.
and have continued to love her.
That's true.
You chose wisely, my friend.
That's true. You did love Astrid from the beginning. I
Yes.
do have to say that. And so, Callie, I don't know what to do in this particular situation. You got to make that call for yourself. And I know that's not the advice you're looking for. Krissy and I never crossed that line. It's one of the few friendships where that never happened, in this particular friend group, where that never happened. And Rachel, too, where that never happened. And it worked to our advantage, I think, because I think had we slept together, had we dated, we may not be as good of friends now, and we probably certainly wouldn't be doing the commercial break together.
Right.
But if you feel strongly that that friendship is something you don't want to lose, then tell him he needs to go find his hoo-ha somewhere else. That pudenda is off limits. You're not going to do it. And watch it when you guys are drinking, because that's when things get slippery.
That is.
Yeah, all of a sudden you can just get yourself into a pickle. Literally into a pickle.
Yeah, you're sleeping in the bed together, and all of a sudden, hands
start creepy crawling hands. I can't believe you sleep topless. I'd like to see a picture of Callie. You know what I'm saying?
She sleeps topless?
She said she sleeps topless in the bed.
Oh, wow.
And
With
still
Danny.
nothing's happened.
Okay.
With Danny.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I can be as strong as Danny. I just don't know. I mean, you know.
Wow.
Callie, send in a picture. I want to see what's going on, what's doing over there. Send in a picture of you and Danny. I want to see what's doing.
Yeah.
That's the key. I'll see you two together. I know you got to pick some friend picture of the two of you together. Send that in because I want to see. Hey cats and kittens, welcome to the commercial break. Inside the commercial break, hit us up with your comments, questions, concerns, or content ideas at one of two places. Either 661-237-8296. You can text us or leave us a voicemail there. Or you can send us an email through the website. Just go to tcbpodcast.com and hit the contact us button. While you're there, you can listen to all the audio or watch all the video right from one location, tcbpodcast.com. Do us a favor, take a listen to our sponsors, and if you're ever in the market for their products or services, you could use the URLs or the specialized codes we drop inside of those ads. But you don't have to spend money to love on us. You can always leave us a review, a rating, or a comment on your favorite podcast player. Take 2 minutes. If you send us a screenshot, I'll send you some swag. At The Commercial Break on Instagram or TikTok, and youtube.com/The Commercial Break. So after you listen to it here, go watch it on YouTube and get an extra laugh you can put in your stash. We're going to hear about those sponsors now, and then we'll be back to this episode of The Commercial Break. I think that, like, that's where all the trouble fucking starts with all the friends, is when someone gets naked.
Exactly.
And you're drunk.
Exactly.
Right? That's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
When you're 12, but like me, when I'm 12, I can think of another friend where I just had one incredibly wild night with this person. Like, wild night. Like, she was like throwing me over the kitchen counter and breaking glasses over my head and shit. It was like it was intense. It was really intense. It was insane. The apartment looked like a bomb hit it when we woke up the next morning. I was like, what did we do? What is that?
What happened?
I didn't know I had candles. And it all happened, not particularly because I think we liked each other. No, we didn't like each other in that way. Or maybe I didn't like her in that way, at least. But it all happened because we went to a bar with another girl that I had just met that I thought I would like, a girl that I liked.
Oh, yeah.
But then that girl left at the end of the night. And then me and our friends stayed around and we just drank ourselves silly. And when we got home, all it took was this girl unbuttoning her blouse, a couple extra buttons, a nipple slip.
Yeah,
a nipple slip,
nip
and
slip.
it was like a firecracker going off. It was like, ah! We just went to town. And that's what happens.
It is. That is what happens. But I think you've got a good...
This episode brought to you by Budweiser, King of Beers.
and nipple pasties.
Nipple pasties.
But I think Callie's got a good thing going with Danny.
Yeah.
I don't think you should go there.
Hey girl, it's me, Danny.
I figure we've been friends for so long, we could just try the reverse cowgirl a couple times, see how it works out. Listen, if it's a good fit, it's a good fit. If it's not, so I got a list of positions that friends get into. Cowgirl, from behind, up on the shower. I grab you and carry you across the room on the cock.
On the walker.
On the walker. The walker cocker. That's what I call that, the walker cocker. And so I don't want to ruin our friendship, but I figure if we could just sleep together a couple times, we'll figure it out.
Try it out.
Why not? What's the harm? What could go wrong, girl? Call me back. Let me know. All right. I'll see you at 7 for dinner with your parents. Bye.
Dinner with your parents. That's right.
Yeah, you got a good thing going here, girl.
Yeah.
And I just be careful. Man, be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get into frilly positions and watch your back. That's all I gotta say. And I don't say watch your back like what Danny's gonna hurt you. He's not. He's your friend. He's not gonna hurt you. He's not gonna do anything like that. I'm saying watch your back like what? You watch your own back. Because what happens is you start thinking about it and then it's a slippery fucking slope. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they should help each other, set up like dating profiles or something and maybe help each other.
Or do mutual masturbation.
Mutual masturbation.
Like in the same room, but not touching each other.
Yeah.
And then you'll really see what's doing.
Yes.
And then, he's already seen you topless. So that's the fucking problem, Callie, is that you're sleeping topless. And so he's taking that as a sign that maybe something more can happen.
I think you might
But
be
I think
right.
he's a little gun shy to actually get it going because he's like, we're friends. And, she's just probably comfortable sleeping like that. But the truth is probably Danny's up half of the night, like looking at you. Danny's like, he's probably got his mouth like
that's a tempting
half an inch from your
situation.
boob while you're sleeping. And he's like, should I or shouldn't I? What does she mean? Of course, make it all consensual, Danny. I don't want to, I'm not implying you do anything wrong, but I can understand where Danny might be getting mixed signals here. And that's why he might be going in. Or maybe Danny has loved you like this from the beginning and he has just never had the balls to say it out loud. And he's really unsure about whether or not you feel the same way because you don't generally feel the same way.
No.
So you're probably not giving off those signals. But then every once in a while your tits pop out out of the covers at night. And he's like, holy shit, I love this girl. I really want to be with her.
Yeah.
And that's why he's
It's
like
tortured love.
Yeah, that's a tortured love. And let me tell you when it never works. Let me tell you the other reason why it never works out is when one person likes the other person more than the other person likes the other person.
Yep.
I heard this one wise. So this couple, they'd been married for like 78 years or something, and they were each turning 100. And the question was, how in the world do you survive a marriage for 78 years when most people don't even make it 4, right? Mm-hmm. When everybody's getting a divorce. And I think it was the lady of the couple said, and this is so brilliant. She said, we never fell out of love with each other at the same time. And that was the key, right? She's like, sometimes one of us would drift a little bit from the relationship and the other one would hang tight.
Yeah, I can see how that works.
The other one would hang tight, right? They would be like, I'm in this. Like, we're here together. And so you go off and not like sleep with other people. You go sort it out and I'll be right here. And then it's my turn to fuck you, right? It's like, but when you start a relationship with things so uneven.
Right, out of balance.
Oh, yeah. No, it's really hard to come to the back. Have you had like unrequited love? Have you ever had
I've had friends that have had it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I could tell. And it makes things awkward.
Oh,
then.
yeah. It's just horribly awkward.
Yeah.
But you've never had an unrequited love?
No.
No? I'm trying to think
Maybe
if I have.
once. Maybe when I was young.
I had this, there was this girl when I was a teenager, and I just thought she was the coolest fucking girl that had ever lived.
Yeah.
She listened to Miles Davis at like age 15.
That is
and
cool.
She was a year older than I was. She was absolutely, in my opinion, stunningly beautiful. And she would give me the time of day like you would pet a puppy dog, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Bryan, that's really...
Oh, Bryan, you're
and
so
I'd be
sweet.
like, Miles Davis is great. Have you ever heard of Dave Matthews Band? They have a saxophone too. And she'd be like, oh, Bryan, that's really sweet.
Right.
And I was like, oh, she don't like me. This is not usually how they act. And I remember for 1 month, I was hard for this girl. And it just never happened. And then eventually she kind of fell out of the circle of friends altogether.
Yeah.
And she paid me no mention whatsoever, no time whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, these things.
No, I saw her
usually
Facebook
work.
recently, and I think things worked out for the best. She's like living in a trailer somewhere.
Oh God.
Well, there's nothing wrong with living in a trailer. I want to be clear about that. I'm not like a classist or anything, but it just looks like the girl who listened to Miles Davis, whose parents smoked weed and like let her get into the like the coolest girl you would ever know.
Yeah.
Smooth and cool, right? Coolest girl you would ever know is living the most uncool life I've ever seen in my entire
fast
life.
forward 30 years.
Yeah, I guess it's 2022 now.
Yeah.
She's got like 13 kids,
Right.
too. I was like, wow, 13 kids, huh? I would have taken you for one of those that never had one kid because the world's too fucked up as it is anyway, man. Too fucked up, dude. So I think that's an unrequited love I know I had. And then I know I had one on a teacher one time, too. Like,
Right.
But it wasn't going to
Crush.
happen.
You had some
a crush.
crushes.
Yeah. I need to get to that.
After 12 years, though, I think Danny might be more than a crush.
Oh, yeah.
He might be more than crushing.
He's balls deep in love.
He's balls deep in love, and he's just hanging on. It's like a movie.
Do you think that a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, or an it and a they, or whatever, do you think that if you are attracted to that particular sex, right, do you think you can just be friends without ever having any feelings for that person?
Wait, I'm confused on what you're saying.
Okay, so you and I are friends.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not asking the question of us. I'm just asking the question of you, right? Do you think that if you have, so you're attracted to men.
Yes.
If you have a boy that's a friend, a man that's a friend for a long period of time, do you think you can go that entirety and just be friends and never have any feelings for them?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say no. A lot of people will say at some point you're going to catch feelings. At some point that's going to happen. It's
I feel like the feeling stuff that will happen. I mean, I feel like you just know early on.
I think so too. Like I have plenty of friends that are female that
yeah.
I never caught feelings for in the least.
Yeah.
Like in the least.
Yeah.
I never once. They could have slept topless next to me the whole time. I
Right.
probably would have had sex with them, but I still wouldn't have had feelings for them.
Yeah, I feel like the feelings part comes on pretty early.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
You get that smell and that hunky funky.
that pheromone.
I had a friend who's a guy, and I have a friend who is a man and likes women and is into women, attracted to women. And he adamantly believes that you cannot be friends with a woman. You cannot just be friends with a woman. He's like, it doesn't work like that. You can. If you're friends with that woman long enough and you're attracted to women, doesn't matter what she looks like, doesn't matter what she says, doesn't matter how she carries herself or what situations you guys get yourself into, you're going to catch feelings eventually for them. And I'm like, I just have to thoroughly disagree with you.
Yeah,
Thoroughly disagree
I do
with you.
too, and I mean, we're an example of that.
That's true.
So, you know,
That's
yeah.
true. Well, the truth is we're really not friends off air. We actually dislike each other quite a bit. Right. But we're contractually obligated to be here because we both had to sign for the Roadcaster loan
Yeah.
that we still are never
paying off.
ever going to pay off. And now, see, I think the kids today, I think, having like an extra layer of complexity about all of this. And I say
agree.
kids, I say just anybody who's single right now because it's so transactional. Dating is so transactional.
Yeah, very much so.
So it's hard to kind of get out there and have enough runway to suss out what feelings really are or what they're not. And let me give you an example. When you and I were single, you'd go out with somebody once or twice or three times.
Right, and you would know.
Yeah, you would know. Mm-hmm. And you would usually meet them in a friend group.
Yeah.
So you would already have a hankering that the two of you liked each other.
Exactly.
It wasn't as spontaneous and transactional as it is now.
Well, and online, I mean, it's so digital.
Yeah.
Like I say things on a text.
Yeah.
that maybe I wouldn't. Internet trolls. People say stuff.
Yeah.
That they would never say to somebody's face.
Catfishing and all this other shit.
And it's hard to also gauge somebody's, facial expressions and
Over text message.
hand gestures and things like that.
all those
these little things.
Yeah, the flirting that goes on.
The
and
flirt. The flirt's fun.
If I had one advice to anybody, the kids are having less sex. They're not interacting as much on this level. And I understand it's because I don't think we're built like that really, and our brains are trying to adjust to all of this. And the younger folks, the people in their 20s and early 30s, they're having a hard time navigating this. Or the research says they're having a hard time navigating this. I'm sure some better than others, because That's like when almost every person that I ever dated, I met at a party, I met at a bar, I met through a friend.
Exactly.
They were a friend of a friend.
Exactly.
Something or other. And we had ample time to kind of walk into it. I never, besides the 3 Tinder dates that I went on, I never swiped right, told her I wanted to bone her, and then, went to the bar and had sex, and it was so transactional. Yeah. So transactional. And I think this is a real... Or
in the instant gratification, too, where... you do like with the in-person dating. Yeah, you need that time to kind of get the feelings, see if they're there.
You need to get people's feelings. You need to catch feelings for them. It's just such a weird world that we live in, and that's why Astrid can never divorce me ever. Not gonna happen, Astrid.
No.
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 Hey, girl, it's me, your husband. And that's why Astrid owns 96% of the commercial break.
That's right.
56%, and Jeff owns the other 56%. It's 112% of the commercial break. Because that's the math we need to make it work.
We did. God. Cheers to finding the right people.
Amen.
We each did.
Yeah, thank God.
Yep.
We'd be stuck with each other.
We would.
We'd be like watching football on Saturday afternoons. And I'd be like, did they score a basket? What's going on over there?
Yep.
We'd be in that Tinder world trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, we would.
And I guarantee we would not figure it out. Yeah, that's not how we're built.
Nope.
All right, listen, I got exciting news for you, just in case you're wondering. You can now dial 855-TCB-8383. 855-TCB-8383 is the brand new TCB hotline. Well, we still have 661-BEST-YO.
Okay.
661, the word best, the number 2, YOYO, that's 237-8296. You'll figure it out, but you can also find us at 855-TCB-8383. It's a toll-free phone number.
That's nice.
In case you're overseas and you want to hit us up, you can do it on the toll-free phone number. You can also leave us a message. Tell us about yourself. Questions, comments, concerns, content ideas. We're taking them all at 855-TCB-8383 or 661-BEST, the number 2, YOYO. You can also go to tcbpodcast.com. Don't be surprised. It's the old website before the new website. Well, we're getting the old new website new again. So don't worry about it. We're going to, so don't get scared. Add the commercial break on Instagram. No one cares. At TCB on YouTube. We now have a YouTube handle.
Ooh.
At TCB. All these things changing. Or youtube.com/the commercial break if you want to do it the old way. Krissy is TCB Krissy on Tinder, and I am TCB Bryan on Grindr. So find me there.
Yes.
I don't know. Look for my colonoscopy results coming up here soon. We'll talk about it.
That's right.
All on the commercial break. I will reveal all. Literally. Okay.
Yes, you will.
All right. I know it's a short one, but it's a good one. It's a great question. Thanks, Callie. Krissy, I guess that's all we can do today.
I think so.
We talked a lot about our friendship.
Yes,
I love you.
I love you.
Best to you.
Best to you.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, Krissy and I always say, we do say, and we must say. Bye.
Are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Tired of wasting time and money on starvation diets that lead to more frustration and stress? If there was a weight loss solution that could actually work for you, would you try it? Then head to Golo.com.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo.
I'm Amber. I've lost 128 pounds with Golo Taking Release.
If you're ready to take back control of your life, head to Golo.com now and see how Golo can work for you. That's GOLO.com.
My sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight. That's what sent me down the path. I wanted to make sure and live for my kid.
I have literally tried everything. I was on the verge of getting gastric bypass surgery, and I saw the Golo commercial, and it was the last thing I tried because it worked.
Join over 2 million people who have found a better way to lose weight with Golo. Your healthier and happier life begins at Golo.com. That's GOLO.com. Again, GOLO.com.